The K-pop industry is a masterclass in human perfection, but beneath the shimmering neon lights of Seoul, a much darker energy is constantly at play. In the secret trainee dorms and high-end studios, whispers of the Seoul contract are traded like forbidden currency among those desperate for fame. It is not just about the grueling 20-hour rehearsals or the strict diets. It is about the blood oaths made in the cold basements of entertainment agencies. Many practitioners believe that the extreme obsession of millions of fans creates a spiritual vacuum that attracts ancient, parasitic entities. Behind every chart-topping hit is a shadow mentor, a spirit that guarantees global success in exchange for a literal piece of the idol's life essence. You see a star, the spirits see a battery. Once the contract is signed, the idol is never truly alone again. The scratching sounds behind the studio walls aren't rats. They are the restless spirits of previous trainees who failed to pay their debt in full. Welcome to the forbidden side of the music world. We call them sasang, the obsessive fans who cross every boundary of human privacy. But the most extreme among them practice something called black fandom. In the dark, hidden corners of Korean forums, they share specific rituals to bind an idol to their own life forever. They use stolen strands of hair, drops of sweat, and letters written in cursed vermilion ink mixed with blood. These rituals create a spiritual tether that slowly drains the idol's physical health while feeding the fans' dark obsession. Victims often report a constant, heavy weight on their shoulders or hearing their name whispered in empty dressing rooms. The agencies publicly call it burnout, but those who know the occult truth call it parasitic binding. When you cheer for your favorite idol, you must be very careful of the energy you project into the world. In the elite circles of Seoul, love can be a literal death sentence. Some fans would rather see their idol destroyed than in the arms of anyone else. The bond is forged in the dark, and it can only be broken by a sacrifice. Dance practice rooms in Seoul are famous for their wall-to-wall mirrors and endless working nights. There is a terrifying legend shared among trainees about the 13th dancer. Many claim that during late-night rehearsals, a girl in a tattered old-style school uniform appears in the mirror, perfectly mimicking their every move. She is the spirit of a trainee who died from extreme overwork decades ago, and she is still trying to make her debut in the physical world. The legend says that if you make direct eye contact with her reflection, she will lock you inside the mirror. Your physical body will keep dancing until your heart finally stops from exhaustion, while she takes your place in reality. This is why many top-tier studios have small, hidden shrines tucked behind the soundproofing foam. They aren't there for good luck. They are placed to keep the mirror ghost satisfied. The next time you watch a dance practice video, pay close attention to the reflections. Sometimes, the person in the mirror is just a split second out of sync with the music. Recording studios are often buried deep underground in places where the air is unnaturally heavy and silent. A well-known superstition in the Korean music industry is that if a studio is haunted, the album recorded there will be a massive global success. Some producers even go as far as to invite spirits into the recording booth using traditional shamanic rituals involving salt and specialized incense. They claim the ghosts add a supernatural frequency to the vocal tracks that makes the songs incredibly addictive to the human brain. But this hit-making entity comes with a terrifying warning for the singer. Idols who record in these cursed booths often suffer from violent nightmares and unexplained marks on their bodies. They hear voices on the master tracks that were not there during the live session. Low guttural growls or quiet sobbing hidden beneath the layers of autotune. If you listen to a K-pop song and feel a sudden, inexplicable wave of cold or fear, you might be hearing the voice of someone who died long ago. Idols receive thousands of luxury gifts from master fans, wealthy individuals who spend millions on their idols. Now, sometimes, a gift is a modern-day Trojan horse. There is a dark ritual called the jealous gift, where a fan sends an item that has been cursed by a dark shaman. Inside a designer bag or a plush toy, they hide a kumiho's tooth or a piece of an ancient burial shroud. This object acts as a spiritual vacuum, sucking away the idol's natural beauty and charisma to transfer it directly to the fan. Within weeks, the idol's skin pales, their hair begins to fall out, and their popularity drops for no apparent reason. It is a slow, agonizing theft of a person's life essence. The industry always covers it up as medical issues, but the small wooden boxes found in the trash tell a different story. In the world of idols, a fan's devotion is a currency, and some fans demand a refund in blood. When the fan gets what they want, the idol is left as a hollow shell. The transport vans used by big agencies are often the site of terrifying occurrences during long late-night drives between cities. Managers tell stories of the extra passenger who suddenly appears in the back seat when all the idols are fast asleep. It is said to be the restless spirit of a former idol who died in a violent car accident years ago, and she is still trying to reach her next scheduled performance. If you make the mistake of speaking to it, the van will never reach its destination. The road will stretch into an infinite loop of darkness, and the vehicle will be found days later, with everyone inside staring into nothingness. Many idols now carry protective amulets blessed by local monks, hidden carefully under their seats. They know that the highway at 3 a.m. is a bridge between the living and the dead. If you ever see a van with tinted windows and a pale face pressed against the glass, do not wave back. You might be acknowledging someone who no longer belongs to this physical reality. The journey to fame is long, but for some, the ride never truly ends. Stage accidents are often blamed on technical glitches or slippery floors, but some performers speak of the tugging hand. During high-energy live shows, idols have felt a sudden, violent pull on their ankles or clothes, nearly sending them off the stage. This isn't gravity, it's a spirit that was once a star, jealous of the living spotlight. There is a specific ritual performed by stage crews before a major concert. They leave a small plate of salt in the rafters to appease the rafter dwellers. These are the spirits of failed trainees who never got their chance to shine and now harbor deep resentment. If the offerings aren't made, the lights flicker, the sound cuts out, and the accidents begin. Fans often capture these moments on camera, a sudden stumble, or a look of pure terror on an idol's face for a split second. We call it a memorable fan cam moment, but for the idol on stage, it's a desperate fight for survival against a jealous void that wants to drag them into the permanent darkness of the wings. The sasaeng problem reached a new level of terror with the infamous ceiling fan incident. A popular male idol began hearing strange scratching noises above his bed every single night. He thought it was just rats, until he noticed a small, red light blinking from a ventilation vent. When the police finally arrived, they discovered a small crawl space hidden behind the walls. It wasn't just a fan living there, it was a practitioner of life sharing. She had been living inside his walls for 3 months, eating his food leftovers and collecting his discarded items for a ritual to switch their lives. She believed that by inhaling the same air, she was slowly becoming him. This wasn't just simple obsession, it was a spiritual theft. Many idols now live in bunker suites with no vents and reinforced walls, but the fear remains. If you live in a high-rise in Seoul and hear a faint, rhythmic breathing that doesn't match your own, do not look under the bed or into the vents. Some fans aren't looking for an autograph, they are looking for a new body to inhabit. The smile contract is a dark legend about a ritual performed by idols who feel their popularity is fading. They visit a specific hidden shrine in the mountains to undergo a ceremony that locks their face into an attractive, charming expression. In exchange for 5 years of success, they must never show true sadness or anger again. If they break the contract by shedding a real tear of grief, their face will begin to wither and sag instantly. Some fans have noticed certain idols who seem to have frozen expressions even during tragic news or high-stress moments. It's not just plastic surgery, it's a spiritual mask. There is a famous video of an idol who started crying during a live stream, and as the tears fell, her face began to warp and melt in real time before the feed was cut. She was never seen again. The industry claimed she retired for personal reasons, but the legend says she is still at that shrine, trying to buy back the human face she sold for fame. The cost of a perfect image is often the total loss of one's own humanity. We end our descent into the K-pop industry with the digital virus legend. It is said that there is a corrupted video file circulating among anti-fans that contains a recording of a forgotten idol's final tragic performance. Watching the video is a ritual in itself. It binds the viewer to the spirit of the idol who was bullied into silence. Within days of watching, the viewer begins to see the idol's face in every screen they look at. Their phone, their laptop, even their television. The idol isn't performing anymore. She is asking for revenge. This is the dark cycle of fame. The more hate you give, the more you become part of the curse. As you close this video, remember that the music you love is often built on the silence of those who couldn't survive the spotlight. The lights of Seoul are bright, but they cast the longest shadows in the world. Subscribe to Urban Tales and keep your eyes on the stage, but pray you never see what's dancing in the wings. Sleep well if the music lets you.